Day 2 of the snow this week. Welcome to CTV News, I'm Rob Cope-Williams. Christchurch received another fresh dumping of snow this morning, bringing about 30 centimetres of snow to most parts of Christchurch and around 40 to the east of Christchurch. Another cold front moved in this morning at around 10 and the worst cold snap the country has seen in 40 years. Once again, Canterbury University, CPIT and the University of Otago Christchurch are closed along with most Christchurch schools. Metro bus services have been suspended all day and the Christchurch City Council says all council sport and recreational centres, libraries, service centres and other community facilities are closed today and will assess whether they should reopen tomorrow depending on the weather. The Council has also announced that the deadline for Christchurch City Council rate payments, due Monday, has been extended until the snow is cleared and the Council facilities have reopened. The new deadline will be 2 days after the Council service centres reopen to the public. You can check the Council website for information on when those service centres will reopen or phone the customer call line on 941 8999 941 8999 or 0800 800 169. Direct debit payments have already been set up, have been paid automatically as usual on the due date. You can leave your bins out for collection. Contractors will progressively collect each area as soon as the conditions allow for them to do so safely. If your bin is not being collected within the week, please call the Council on 941 8999 or that other number 0800 800 169. Sarah has announced access to the CBD red zone continues to be closed to all contractors due to snow and ice. Access to the CBD red zone will be reassessed tomorrow and the weather conditions have kept Burwood Resource Recovery Park and Cape Valley Landfill closed. The weather has also delayed the start of consultation on the draft Central City Plan. The draft document is available online, centralcityplan.org.New Zealand, for people to read, download and make a written comment. The snow has meant the Council has been unable to get printed copies of the draft plan out to Council service centres, libraries and recreation and sports centres. The draft Central City Plan is available for written comments until 5 p.m. on Friday the 16th of September. For more information, check out the website centralcityplan.org.nz. And for regular updates on civil defence and snow news across the region, you can visit www.cdemcanterbury, that's cdemcanterbury.gov.nz. Many local roads will not be cleared for some time and police are warning motorists to stay off city roads and to travel only if essential. Crews are working to keep major roads as clear as possible. Roads around hospitals and emergency centres have been given priority and hill roads are again closed. Well, here's the latest on the roads from the Christchurch Police.
Christchurch Police say there still has not been any major crashes since yesterday's snowfall.
Look, we've been very fortunate. We've only had 4 crashes in the last 12 hours, which is great considering the road conditions.
And with temperatures colder today than yesterday, police say we can expect ice to start developing on roads soon.
The front's just come in. We're going to see a lot more ice on the roads, which is going to mean it's going to be different to yesterday, which was just loose snow. We're dealing with ice now, so people really need to start taking care out there. And
Inspector Stewart says people need to use their common sense.
If you are out on the roads, please increase your following distances and slow down. There is a lot of ice out there and we're getting reports of people doing some really stupid things like towing snowboards and skis. That's got to stop. It's incredibly dangerous.
Christchurch Airport was closed this morning until 9, with crews having to clear around 25 centimetres of snow from the runway. We spoke to airport officials this afternoon.
Christchurch Airport was closed this morning. The first flight out was a Singapore Airlines flight just after 9. The airport says this is rare. The airport closed after September and February's quakes, but before that, the last time it closed due to snow was in 1992, for the same safety reasons as today's closure.
Yeah, it is very rare. Obviously, there's been a couple of instances with some ground movement that we shut for, but overall we haven't shut previously before for a very long time. The reason was that the road conditions were very treacherous this morning, obviously, getting staff and passengers to work. Plus we had 25 mils of new snow on the runway which we needed to clear as well, and we took it on the basis of talking to our airline partners, the police, the agencies around the airport and also the ground handlers, just to assess whether or not we should close, and we deemed that it necessary to do that on the basis of safety.
He says staff getting to the airport has been an issue, but they found ways around this.
We've been able to arrange four-wheel drives to get out and get them where we need to. We've used the four-wheel drive club and our own staff here to pick people up on their way into work.
Mr Lester says people can expect a backlog and possible further disruptions for the rest of the week, depending on the weather.
I think it'll take a wee while to get through. The airlines are doing their very best to clear those out now. But yeah, I think we will see some disruptions throughout this week, and who knows what the weather will do as well. Looking at down south right now, forecasts are we're in for some more, so that could make it worse.
Coming up after the break, an update from all the major emergency services. Welcome back. Here's an update from all the major emergency services in Christchurch, including Orion, the Fire Service, St John's 24-hour surgery, Nurse Maud.
Christchurch's electrical woes have become even greater.
At the moment we've got about 1,000 customers out in the rural area, mainly around the Leaston, Doyleston area and Hallsville. Other pockets of customers in that south-southwest area from Christchurch.
Power was out to double the amount of homes Orion was dealing with yesterday, with thicker, stickier snow to blame.
The snow appears a little bit more clingy and has clung to the lines and to the trees, causing more damage. But each of these events take out about 1,000 customers. In July there was about 2,000 out.
And if the weather continues, it's likely that number will rise even further, but people are proving patient.
Most of the customers who had power cuts yesterday had the power back on overnight, but now we've got a fresh amount of snow that arrived in the rural area, and that's brought the power down, brought the lines down, brought trees down that have hit our lines, and that's interrupted power.
So with heat pumps out of action, forget stocking up on bread and milk. Wood seems a far more appealing option.
Yeah, no, I'm quite busy today, more than yesterday, and record days sort of Friday and Saturday last week, just sort of queues down the road all day long, so we had about sort of 10-hour days and non-stop all day.
The abundance of customers making for a record couple of days, and with electricity out, numbers are still running steady.
There's a lot of the heat pumps and that are sort of freezing up, so I think people who have got fires obviously just getting a bootload to have on standby, or maybe even using that, I guess, if the power is out.
And they're stocking up for the week.
Yeah, a lot of them getting just a car bootload, which are generally sort of lasts probably 5 days to 7 days. And other ones sort of getting bigger loads and trailers, and we've got a lot of people booking in for deliveries for next week.
Heating, that's definitely needed when snow is blowing up into people's ceilings.
Yesterday was reasonably busy, just people with trouble with the snow, and again this morning we've had quite a few people with collapsed conservatories, and some with snow blowing up under the roof line into the house, and some with just trees down across driveways and roadways and footpaths and things like that. So.
As for a day off indoors by the fire, have the firemen all been able to get to work?
No, some of them have been held up. Some of the ones that live a bit out of town haven't been able to get here for the start of the shift, so we've had to bring people back who live in town who could get here.
And it's not just the fire service emptying people's roofs.
During the day yesterday it wasn't so bad with power, but last night people started to lose power. The other challenge has been the snow getting into the homes. The homes are not in good condition, so people have been ringing and saying they've got piles of snow inside their roof cavity, so now all their insulation is soaked and they've got water running down their walls.
And yesterday was a breeze in comparison.
Today, much tougher. The snow is really thick out there. People are nervous, more nervous about driving on the roads, and we've really struggled to get hold of enough four-wheel drives to really be able to make it an easy job to get out there.
So with 10 four-wheel drives to deliver to 200 homes, they're relying on help from outsiders.
We're relying on family, friends, neighbours. If they can go in and give a hand, that will take the pressure off us having to get in there as urgently.
And it's not just Nurse Maud having difficulty getting to patients. Roads are making it difficult for St John ambulances to travel at their usual speed, and non-urgent calls are just adding to that wasted time.
One of our concerns is, though, that we're receiving a lot of calls for non-urgent type cases. At the moment, because of the road conditions, it's taking us a lot longer to get to people, and that's putting a lot of pressure on our resources.
And when he says non-urgent, he means non-urgent.
Well, we've been having calls for people with toothache and sore throats and things like that, and certainly they are the types of cases that people we would prefer to ring their GPs.
As for those GPs, they're already busier than usual.
Yep, for a Monday it was a little bit busier than normal. We saw about 200 patients in the 24-hour period. We normally see about 150 or so.
However, those injuries aren't snow-related, which they're preparing for later in the week.
It was probably just a lot of general practice, some injuries, but it's not like the last time we were iced over and we were getting a lot of falls, so hopefully this won't ice over either. So it was just more that about 20% of practices were closed or variably closed, and so we were dealing with the overflow from there.
St John's anticipates the same sort of business.
We are concerned that if it freezes tonight that the roads will ice over, and when people start venturing out tomorrow that we could expect crashes and people falling by the ice.
Life has been extremely hard for those living in the quake-hit eastern suburbs, and the latest cold snap is making things even harder.
Residents in the eastern suburbs say they're more prepared than they were for last month's snowfall.
Just making sure everything's clear. This time I'm actually going supplies. Last time we ran out of milk and coffee, and yeah, but you need your hot drinks.
Local resident Andrew says things have been easier than last time.
Well, we lost sewage for a little while, but mostly it's actually all right now. We've got, as long as we don't lose power, especially in the snow, we're hoping it should be fine.
Some businesses in the area have chosen to stay open, and they say people are stocking up.
We sold all the bread, we have to get another delivery for the milk, and people are coming in and out and they're buying chips, bread, milk, and all the basic. Some people are very happy about the snow, and some people are feeling very cold, and it was nice to see the snow, and people are all happy. They said it's better than earthquake. Today we sold lots of pies, bread, milk and chocolates and ice creams.
People are keeping a positive attitude, with the snow taking people's minds off the quakes, even for a short amount of time.
It's actually bringing a bit of, how can I say, some joy to the house, with the kids going out, playing outside, getting their minds off the earthquake, and it hasn't done us that bad, and it's just with a lot of snow at the moment. The drainage is quite bad, but that's okay, we can live with it.
Local church leader Nigel Ripley says many have already chosen to leave the east.
We've found in some of the red zone that nearly up to a fifth of people have already gone. We're not exactly sure where they've gone, but they've managed to shift out of town, which quite a few of them have. But those who are staying are very mixed conditions, and part of it is just the length of time trying to make out what to do with the information and just waiting for things to come through to actually make decisions. So we're finding that some people are glad about being in the red zone, some people aren't, and other people are very much stuck in the middle just trying to figure out what they can do.
But he says people are helping each other out.
Some of the things we've been doing, at the moment we've been taking some emergency care packs around the red zone by the church, and that's just been really good for just giving some people something in a container they can use, and it's helpful in emergencies, but also it's just a bit of a lift for someone to come visit and actually give them something and offer support. We're just trying to find out some of the things that people need, and just finding those who are also falling through the gaps and just making sure that they're being taken care of.
It's a beer.
A big question with all the weather disruptions is how much it's costing already struggling businesses to close, and whether businesses are expected to pay their staff on snow days off.
How's the snow affecting Christchurch businesses today, and especially having a dump 3 weeks ago? They must be struggling a wee bit at the moment.
Yeah, they are. We're having a really quiet day in Christchurch today, and I expect we'll have another one tomorrow, but the snowfall in July taught people to be better prepared for snow, and I think employers and employees are better organised today than they were last time around.
Okay, cost-wise, how much is it really costing businesses each day, especially having to pay people when they're not coming in? Are most businesses actually paying people?
Well, the employers are not obliged to pay people if they're open for business and employees don't turn up for work because of the snow. That's the law. The reality is that some businesses decide not to pay their employees. Some will pay employees fully. Some will make them pay back with their holiday pay, and some might ask them to work an extra hour a day and make up the lost time. It has a big cost on businesses. I mean, I know there was one business that I was speaking to in July that had paid $20,000 in wages for the day they lost. And when there's no income, that's a big cost. Employees are good about it, but you've got to remember that a lot of our companies are running on pretty empty tanks after the earthquake, and they don't have a lot of cash resource. So my suggestion to them is that there's got to be good understanding between employers and employees with respect to the employer's obligations and the employees' obligations, and then they need to sit down and work out a sensible solution that meets the needs of the company and, where possible, meets the needs of the employees. But there's no point in paying out to employees if it's compromising the viability of your company.
Coming up after the break, your local weather to let you know what's the latest in this Antarctic blast. Welcome back. The decent warning of the pending storm put a lot of pressure on local supermarkets over the weekend. Justin, it was a bit chaotic over the weekend pre-storm.
Certainly was. There's been a heck of a lot of people out and about, obviously trying to stock up as best they could, get as many supplies as they could, and certainly for a lot of people I think it was a pretty good idea after what we've seen with the recent weather. So, yeah.
It seemed bread was one of the main targets, so most people have said, I went to the supermarket and there was none left.
Yeah, we had an unbelievable amount of demand, particularly Saturday but Sunday as well, and we sold out very, very quickly, and the bread guys just can't whip out more. It takes a bit of time, so yeah, we ran out very, very early, unfortunately. So.
How are you getting on for general supplies? Fruit and veg would be a major part?
Yeah, very much so. But from today, we're pretty good. There's a few trucks that haven't been able to get through, but overall, it's been very, very good. We've had great support from the vast majority of suppliers, and the majority of stocks are back in now. Milk was a big one for us, but we've got that back as of about half an hour ago. So we're back in business. Yeah.
And your chillers would be full of meat and perishables that you're able to stock up on, like us.
Yeah, very much so. And thankfully we have the space out the back, and so we were able to prepare as best we could. And certainly we got the onslaught over the weekend, and things are getting back to some form of normality today. Although getting staff here and that sort of thing is a bit challenging as well. So we're doing our best to ferry people in four-wheel drives and what have you. And the staff have been great.
Those stacking the shelves are doing a wonderful job.
Yeah, so far so good. It's been all hands on deck, really just trying to top up, because certainly the shelves were annihilated over the weekend, and so getting the truck here was one thing, but the good food got through, and so things are back to normal now. Yeah.
And people are coming back out again?
Yeah, a wee bit. There's certainly, I think most people are just picking up bits and pieces, things they really need, and I suppose staying off the roads as best they can. But looking out there now, I've been out and picked up a few staff myself, and the roads aren't too bad. The main roads anyway are pretty good, so yeah, so far so good.
Now here's Sasha to find out how long this weather will stay with us.
Evening to you all. Another snow day for many of you today, but can you believe it? It's just 15 days till the start of spring. Today we had more snow and sleet in Canterbury, making that snow slushy and slippery. Highs reached just 2 or 3 degrees for most places. Hanmer, Colverton and Arthur's Pass stayed at freezing, and on the west coast Greymouth reached 7 degrees. Down to freezing overnight for Kaikoura. Sleety showers and fresh southerlies throughout the day keep temperatures low. Your high there just 5 degrees. -3 tonight in Hanmer Springs. It's another very cold day with some snow showers on and off, freezing cold southerlies and a high of just 3 degrees. In Rangiora and Kaiapoi, sleety showers, hail and rain see the snow become a slushy, slippery mess. Gusty southerlies continue and temperatures are still very cold, not expected to get above 5 degrees. In Christchurch, it's a wet, wintry Wednesday. Some snow on the hills above 200 metres, but at sea level it's light rain or sleet throughout the day. Those cold southerlies continue and we're looking at a high of 5 degrees. Same story for Ashburton. Sleety showers attack that snow, making for a wet, cold, slushy snow blanket for your doorstep. Fresh southerlies continue. Temperatures are cold there, your high just 5 degrees. In Timaru, light rain or sleety showers throughout the day with a high of just 5 degrees. Those southerlies continue their gusty assault, so wrap up warm. To our other areas now, morning snow showers turn to afternoon rain for Colvin, Darfield, Methven and Akaroa, with temperatures of 4 or 5 degrees. Please be careful of ice after that low tonight of -1. Arthur's Pass and Greymouth see a cloudy day with highs of 4 or 5 degrees. So looking ahead to Thursday and Friday then, sleety showers on Thursday for those below 200 metres. Snow continues to fall at higher elevations. Those southerlies remain cold and strong. On Friday it becomes fine and sunny with light winds, would you believe it? Temperatures remain cold though with heavy frosts overnight. Now here's Tony from Blue Skies with further updates.
Well, there's no real change to the forecast compared to what we've had for the last few days. So we expect conditions to gradually improve over the next couple of days, but still likely to be mostly cloudy and showery, rather cold and southerly winds tomorrow and on Thursday as well. Finally clearing up on Friday, and we'd expect to see some frosts on Friday night and Saturday night. I think generally we'll see an easing of the conditions over the next couple of days, maybe some more snow showers down to quite low levels overnight. You might see a few further snowflakes in the city, but nothing like the quantity of snow that we saw this morning. And generally the showers should be easing off over the next few days. Still cold though, still in the form of snow down to around 200 metres, and still sleety at times in Christchurch as well. The winds aren't as strong as they were yesterday. Showers have had more rain in them this afternoon. So I think we're on the upwards side of this weather system, but it's not going to clear up to sunshine tomorrow either.
Indeed, and thanks to Tony as well. That's CTV News. I'm Rob Copeland.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.